thanks so much for watching Making Healthcare Work for You, Different Perspectives and Empowering Solutions. I'm Stephanie Fields, joined by my co-host, Dr. Apoorv Gupta, and today we are welcomed by Dr. Robert Pearl, who is a professor at Stanford University School of Medicine and Business, the author of 2 books, for which he donates all of the profits to Doctors Without Borders, which I love, and the former CEO in the Kaiser Permanente Group. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Stephanie, for having me.
Our full interview is absolutely fantastic. One thing that we talked about was generative AI and the doctor's usage of it, that it can actually, in many cases, you said one particular study, the AI responses were 45% empathetic, whereas the human generated ones were only 5% empathetic. So with that, how do we get doctors to adopt this and not see it as a threat? Because I think that is something that you could see. It's like, I'm already struggling with this, and now they're trying to replace me with this computer, but it's not that. It seems you're telling us that this is a tremendous asset and something that really can help us transform healthcare, but the doctors need to be open to it.
Let me start by pointing out to listeners and viewers that what exists today in generative AI, and let's call it ChatGPT, as a short-term way of saying it, is not what we're describing as the long-term application. This will be seen as a toy in retrospect. The generative AI technology is doubling every year. By 5 years from now, it'll be 30 times more powerful. By 10 years, 1,000 times. We're talking about a 5 to 10 year window. At that particular point, I believe that the generative AI solution will be even more vital inside medicine than maybe the stethoscope. It's going to completely revolutionize knowledge and expertise the way that Johannes Gutenberg did with the printing press, or the way that the internet has done so in the more recent time period, because it will allow a tremendous amount of knowledge, expertise to be available, not just intermittently, not just on a calendar basis, but consistently. Physicians will be able in their office to use it to access data and information for which they would have had to go to the library in the long past or go to their computers at the current time. It will create it immediately specific to the particular patient, the particular problem they're trying to solve. 400,000 people a year die from misdiagnoses. It will minimize that. It will allow a lot of the tasks that doctors do, the routine tasks, the bureaucratic tasks, the management of patients who are having problems that are pretty straightforward, to be able to be done electronically, freeing physicians up for the more complex patients, the ones with cancer, the ones with heart failure, the ones for whom empathy is so vital. And as you say, was so missing in the studies that were looked at and discussed on the podcast. It will be the doctor's assistant in the patient's home, linked to wearable devices, linked to monitoring devices like glucometers and blood pressure cuffs. It will allow a constant overview of patients both with chronic disease and patients at home, in a hospital at home environment with more complex problems, to be monitored and connected with telemedicine to nurses in a call center in a very efficient manner, bringing the doctors in when most appropriate. So rather than spending a massive amount of time on looking at data that is growing greater over time, we know medical knowledge is expanding, doubling every 71 days. It's going to allow the physician to focus in on what's most vital, freeing the doctor up. And I think it will be a solution both for patients. It will give doctors the time to deliver the empathy, and for the clinicians for whom burnout is such a big problem. Like all technologies, the change will be disruptive, complex. It will take time. It will require courage. But I'm confident at the end of the process, it will be better both for those people, those individuals who provide the care, and those who receive it.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
What a bold vision. Thank you again, Dr. Pearl.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
you.